It's the HBS show with lesson, the screen goddess. History behind success of your role model. Yeah, Oluwa lifted me higher. Oh, now they wanna eat with me. Now they wanna drink with me. Now they see me as something. But I can't forget yesterday when they saw me as nothing. No one knows tomorrow, brother. No one knows tomorrow, sister. No one knows tomorrow, mama. No one knows tomorrow, Baba.
Wow, good to have you again on the program HBS show with lesson, history behind success. Our guest on this program is a man who has imparted knowledge to so many people. A man who loves Nigeria with all of his heart. A man who strongly believed in the development and the success of Nigeria and Delta states. Who is this man? Join me as I make welcome to the program the Honorable Commissioner for Higher Education, Delta State, Professor TONUKARI, to the program.
It's the HBS show with lesson, the screen goddess. History behind success of your role model.
Alright, sir, you're looking so handsome and cute. What's the secret?
Thank you very much. I do exercise in the morning.
Wow,
And I relax very well in the evening.
that's good.
Yes.
Showing.
Thank you.
Alright, tell us about your upbringing. Tell us about your family background, the family you're born into.
Okay. Thank you very much. I was born in Saple. And I still think Saple is the most, how will I say, the best city. I used to tell people Saple is the best city in Nigeria, if
Wow.
not the whole of Africa. Can you imagine somebody coming, when I return back to this country, I live abroad, and I had the opportunity to stay either in Abraka, Saple, or Warri. I was a lecturer in Belgium. I chose to go back and stay in Saple because it's so peaceful, so nice, so friendly. Anyway, I was born in Saple. I was born in a part of Saple called Ghana. In those days, it was a little detached from the main Saple. It was like a village to Saple, but nice, full integral part of Saple now. It was a very quiet area, few houses. We are just by the forest, close to the forest. So it was a very happy upbringing. My dad worked in a company in Saple, a popular company, they call it TMP, African Timber and Plywood. And my mother was a petty trader. It was a very good time. I was born there and had my primary school there.
In Ghana.
Just close to Ghana. It was then, when I started, it was St. Francis Primary School. And it changed the name midway. It's now called Ufoma Primary School. Wow. We're just kids, happy boys and girls going to school. The whole place was, how will I say, we're sort of middle class, mostly farmers and the rest, but we did well and it was a happy time. So I was born in Saple.
You so much love this
also till tomorrow. But when I drive into Saple, I feel so happy as soon as I get to Amukbe and I'm entering Saple, I feel so much at home. Anytime I get to Saple. Thank you.
So tell us, during your secondary school days, how was it like? Because I believe most people at that time that prefer the children going to farming.
Yes.
And then learning skills.
Yes.
But you are privileged to go to school at that time. So tell us your experience.
Yes. I was extremely privileged because my mother actually attended primary school. My dad went up to secondary school. And then maybe attended one college, cooperative college, Ibadan. So because of that education my mother had, she was like the most educated woman in the whole area. When I went to school, Then for you to go to school, they don't look at age. They want to know whether your hand can touch your ear.
Yeah.
You know, so when the children were going for them to be, I also went with them, but I was big. You know, so you look, I'm tall. I was very, very big, but my hand could not touch my ear. But somehow, I just followed them to school. So my name was really not in the register in primary school. It was much later, I think after first term, when I told my mother that when they called names, I don't hear my name. They somehow, because she could speak English and everything, went to the school and they started calling my name at the end. So I didn't even know anything. I didn't know anything more. They were going to school with slates. I was just following them. But somehow I managed to pass. And that's how I started my primary school. But secondary school, I attended the Coachable Grammar School in Saple. You know, so I finished primary school, went straight to secondary school. Like you said, there are many persons who just stop at primary school or learn one trade or the other. But because I had an educated parents, and they just wanted me to go to school, and I went just straightforward from primary school to secondary school. It was normal for me to go to secondary school. Yes.
All right. So, sir, from your secondary to university, are you among those who saw things during their stays in the university to assist their stay during the university based on your family background because of funds?
Funds. Oh, not just university. Actually, I started doing some odd jobs from primary school.
Wow.
From primary school, you know, we had a lot of time. Like I said, I lived close to the forest. So as young as we were, we'll go fishing.
Oh, yeah?
And I was an expert in catching rabbits. And we go into the bush to catch rabbits. We fish, and we did a lot of things. Started doing some little odd jobs. You know, I was good in taking contracts to fill houses, and primary school, secondary school, I used to assist bricklayers. In fact, when I took my kids to the houses where I participated in building, they were sure. I said, yes. So I used to carry concrete, they were building this house. So I carried blocks when they were building this house. You know, so I did that. Like I said, it was a rural area, and houses were just coming. So when people want to build houses, mostly, I don't know how we knew as children, we just run there. We take the contract to cut the grass and everything. So I did that all through to secondary school. If I were earning money as children, it was really normal like that in those days.
It was good money.
Little money. Then weekends we go buy clothes. We would trek all the way from Ghana to the market. We buy clothes and everything with the money. So we had little funds. When I was in university, I still did some of those ones when I get back on holidays, or sometimes I would stay in the store and sell for my mother. Yes, so that's how. I was really never short of money at that time. Primary, secondary school. No. There was always little things we could do to get money.
Because your business is just close by the bush.
Yeah, just by the bush. We're living by the bush. Very close. Yes.
All right, that's good. After, by the grace of God, you are now a professor.
Yes.
Adjourning to this last cadre in education is not a day job.
That's true.
There are lots of roads, there are lots of galloping that you are able to overcome and get to this level. I know of so many people who admire to become a professor, but due to one challenge or the other, when they are able to the successful get their degree, their first degree, BA or BSc, they'll say, okay, let me further my education. Before you know it, maybe family, whatever, they will just stop there.
That is true.
But here you are. You're a family man, and I believe that you got married after your first degree or during your first degree.
After my master's degree.
Good. After your master's. And you were still able to forge ahead. Tell us, how were you able to overcome this gallop in education?
Okay, I would say that I was very lucky. I was lucky in the sense that after my first degree, I attended University of Maiduguri, and I did very well. I happened to come out with a first class, and I got federal government scholarship to study for master's degree at the University of Ibadan. And I finished my master's within a year. It was 1 year in those days, and I got a job at an international institute, IIT in Ibadan, International Institute for Tropical Agriculture. I worked there for 5 years. And the luck I had was that I worked with an Indian who was my boss, Dr. Totapele. Somehow he liked my work, and he sent me out of the country twice for further learning, just to get some skills in laboratory. I was working in the laboratory. I first went to Italy in 1992. Thereafter, I went to the United States in 1994. So I got some skills. I already had my master's degree there. It was when I went to the United States in 1994 that the persons I was working with in the laboratory, I mean, some of my mates, and I'm older than many of them, they were studying for PhD and the rest. I said, come on, these guys can do it, I can still do it. Now let me just try, I took my time to write one exam called GRE, Graduate Records Examination. I just took the point. I was in the US then, so I wrote the exam, and I got admitted into 4 universities.
Wow.
With full scholarship.
Wow.
But I didn't take up I returned back to Nigeria. I worked in IT till 1995. That's when I applied. So I resigned for further studies. So I got to the US. I just chose one university, Michigan State University. The university I went to when IT sent me was Washington University in St. Louis, middle of the United States. But I never saw snow. The only reason I chose Michigan was in the northern part of the US, and because it snows over there. I wanted to be in a totally different environment. So I chose Michigan State University, and as I ended up doing my PhD there. It was a wonderful time. I used to tell them, I said, look, I'm just here for holiday, 4 years holiday. I will get my degree and leave. And they didn't really believe me. I get my degree and return back to the country. Because I tell you the truth, I lecture in Nigeria. The education in US is well programmed. It's not that really difficult. You just do the research, and everything is there for you to do research. So you can do a lot. I did quite a lot and finished my PhD. Then I didn't come back immediately because I got married when I was doing my PhD. I returned to Nigeria, married my sweetheart right in Saple, and took her to the United States. So I had a kid as I was graduating. Okay. So I just wanted a little more money. I got a job in the US. In fact, I got 4 jobs to choose from. I chose a job in a company because it paid higher. So then I was earning about $4,000 per month. My first job in the US. So I stayed there. After 2 years, I was tired. I wanted to return back to Nigeria. But I didn't get back to Nigeria. I didn't get a job in Nigeria. I applied, but I got a job in Kenya, in a research institute. So I got to Kenya. It was also an international job. It was a very good job. But my heart was back in Nigeria. I worked in Kenya for 2 years, from 2002 to 2004, until I got a job in Delta State University. Somehow, I knew the vice chancellor, but to get it was difficult. But somehow I got to him, and he remembered me. We'd met before. I said, I want to come as a visiting lecturer. He approved it, just a visiting lecturer. I stayed back. But my whole idea was actually to come back to Nigeria. So I came back, I started lecturing. But before I left Kenya, I made friends. There's one man I met, he's from the East. He told me he's been a lecturer in Nigeria. I was at 31 Institute in Kenya. He told me, you're going back to Nigeria. Look, for you to get promotion, you're going to write a lot of papers. I started writing papers then. He said, if they request 10 from you, give them 20. Wow. The man advised me very well. So by the time I got back to Nigeria, to write paper was not difficult for me. For people like me, it's just to do the work. So I wrote my papers, got my promotions. There was a little hiccup on the way, but not really much because I had a private laboratory. Okay. I had a private laboratory in my village. Even though I lived in Saple, but my village is Isiokoro, Educ East. So I built my first house there. So I converted part of the house to a laboratory. So I was doing research there. You see, I had a lot of advantage being having school in the United States. I had some links. I could get some equipment and everything. So I started my private laboratory. That private laboratory produced about 5 PhDs,
Wow.
a lot of master's degree, a lot of undergraduates. But somehow I have to close it. I studied again in Saple at Songhai in Saple, if you know Songhai,
Yeah,
close to
yes,
Saple and Amokbe.
I'm okay.
It was when I was appointed as commissioner and I stopped the laboratory. I need to focus on my job. But when I was in Delsu, as a lecturer, I got my promotion and I became a professor. Publishing papers were not difficult. It's just, although there are some politics within the universities, all those ones, I overcame all of them and I got my professorship. It was really not, I would not say it's not difficult, but I would say I was lucky. There's a lot of persons on the way that smoothed my path. Even when it was difficult, people would just come to me and assist me. And because of my private laboratory, I was able to publish so many, and I did very novel research. So all over the country, most universities where you go today, most of them would know me or know my work.
Okay, sir. During your discussion, you said coming to Nigeria, you were looking for a job at that time.
Yes.
You didn't get any job in Nigeria, but you were privileged to get one in Kenya. So in one of your journals, Be Grateful to Nigeria, the damn part, you said Nigerians should not blame the government. Now, getting a job, I think, is the duty of the government of Nigeria to make it available for graduates to get.
Okay.
So, how do you see that?
Let's put it this way. For me, I think the duty of government is to make the environment conducive for companies, entrepreneurs to establish, for people to get jobs, to establish companies and the rest. That is the duty of government. Government will employ some persons to work in ministries, in other agencies, MBAs. But it's not the duty of government to provide jobs for everybody. It's their duty to provide an enabling environment for people to set up their own businesses. Look, I was really not angry that I didn't get a job, and I will get a job. If you read that article, which I wrote very well, I said, be grateful to Nigeria.
Yes.
There's no person I've advised. I normally tell my students at the end when they are finishing 400 level, I'll give them the lecture. I will tell them, if you don't get a job, after listening to what I'm going to say, and if you can do it, come, I will give you a job. And I'm telling you, up till now, nobody has come to me, because if they do it, they will get a job. If they don't do it, they will not get a job. When I finished after my NYC, as I was doing NYC, I was applying for jobs. I wrote at least 1,000 applications. Then there was no internet. Then you can imagine I got jobs to choose from. When I was in the United States, as I was finishing my PhD, I wrote far more than that, maybe going to about 2,000. It was easier then because there was internet.
Yeah.
In US, I got 4 jobs to pick from. My siblings, I told my siblings, look, I said, just keep applying, just keep applying. They were living in Lagos with a friend of mine. They got jobs. The truth is that people are lazy. They think you should do this job, package it, and put it. Now, you can imagine the pressure I am, pressure everybody in my level are. They want you to give them a job. They want to say that you have a job, you call them, come and start job.
Come and receive.
How would that work? You don't want to stress yourself. It does not work like that in life. You must push. You must push. I tell people, I say, go forward courageously and you will please God. Go forward courageously. If you don't push, you just sit down and you expect roasted chicken to fall on your lap, and it doesn't work like that. So people will get job. I'm telling you, if anybody say I've applied 1,000, I didn't get a job, come to me. I still own a small firm. I own a small company. So I've given several persons job. So I still have the place to give people a job in my own personal company. So write 1,000 letters for application and you don't get a job, come to me, I will give you a job.
And it's not possible for one to write a 1,000 application. No, and the person will not be called for one. It's not possible.
It's not possible.
It's not possible.
It's not possible. It's just that people are lazy. They want their uncles, their big brothers to find jobs for them. Some person want to work in specific place. Look, when I started my business in Saple, I have a private company. Some people just work to me and I give them a job. Some persons that have worked with me, they are even There are lecturers in many places, in many companies, in the banks and everything, So there are some persons, there's a particular young man, he used to come to visit persons working for me. And I asked, why is this guy not asking me to give him a job? And he was jobless.
Yeah. Oh.
He was jobless. He studied, I think, in uni then. Why is this guy not working? He will come with fine sandal and everything. Yes. And I learned that he wanted a specific job. He's looking for a specific job, maybe in an oil company. He didn't get it. I still see him. If you are looking for a job, take what you find first. From there, you can move on to take a better job. That's why I advise people. I tell you, there are jobs in Nigeria. People are looking for persons to employ, looking for good potential. There are still jobs, a lot of jobs in Nigeria. Nigeria is far better than when I graduated. There are still far more opportunities, so people will get jobs.
Okay, sir. They're grateful to Nigeria.
Yeah.
What led to that article?
You see, I have a lot to compare. Having lived in the United States and having traveled all over the world, I've traveled to many countries. I've even been to Japan. I've been to South Africa. So, if you're in Nigeria and the press, you read in the press, sorry, you're a reporter. Because I blame you reporters a lot, And what people want to report are the negative issues. So things happened. Like, you hear every day, insecurity. Come on, which insecurity? We are more secure than Nigeria. Insecurity, lack of jobs. The government is not helping us. Why don't you look at it from the other way? Nigerian government, look at Nigeria. Nigeria is a very wonderful country. Look, we've tried a lot in this country. There's nobody who has reached to some certain heights who wants this country to operate. So stupid. God has blessed us, put almost 200-something million people together here. And you think it's a great country. They make you believe that we are poor. Who said so? Look, I was a lecturer in Delsu. I used to take my wife and children and travel to US nearly every year or every 2 years. And my friends in the US can't come. They don't have the money. We have a lot of money in this country. Yeah, we do. You see, I grew up in Ghana. When I was growing up, in the whole Ghana, there's only one man that had a private car. And I keep saying that I'm sure I'm one of the first person, if not the first, that went straight from secondary school to university in that particular area. But if you go to the same place where I was born now, every compound you see cars everywhere. You see graduates everywhere. Look at the development. People like us, I tasted spaghetti indomie for the first time. I was already in university. But now every kid can eat indomie. Yeah. When people say they are poor, like in the whole of, I think I was maybe most primary, going to primary 6 or something, there was no single television in the whole of Ghana. Now every home has television. You go to my village, every home have DSTV. Yeah. That's true. Have we not progressed?
We are progressing.
Yeah, we progressed. So we should be grateful. This country is good. You can travel anywhere. In some countries, you cannot move from one part of the country to the other without taking a pass. Here you are free to stay anywhere. You are free to do whatever you want to do. But you can even say something against your head of state. But in some country, you are afraid to do that. Man, this is a very sweet country. And you are free. The press in Nigeria is the freest I've seen. Look, I've lived in Kenya. I've lived in US. The press in Nigeria is the freest you can see. So people should be grateful for the opportunity that we have in Nigeria. The opportunity is so great. If you don't believe me, go to UK or call your friends in UK if they are as free as you are inside Nigeria. That is why I say we should be grateful to Nigeria.
Wow. In case you're just joining us, it is HBS show, History Behind Success. And our guest on the program is the Honorable Commissioner for Higher Education, Prof.NYERHOVWO, TONUKARI. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. And don't forget to subscribe and like our YouTube channel, HBS Show with Blessing.
It's the HBS Show with Blessing, the screen goddess. History behind success of your role model. forget yesterday when they saw me as nothing. No one knows tomorrow, brother. No one knows tomorrow, sister. No one knows tomorrow, mama. No one knows tomorrow, papa. Yeah. It's the HBS show with lesson, the screen goddess. History behind success of your role model.
All right, good to know that you're still on the program, HBS Show with Blessing. Like I said, our guest on the program is the Honorable Commissioner for Higher Education, Delta State, Prof.NYERHOVWO. Sir, you said you were born and brought up in Sapele.
Best city. Best city in Nigeria.
All right. And you said a lot of development is in Sapele right now. The Sapele of before and the Sapele of now is not the same
At all.
So tell us about the ongoing projects by His Excellency in that area.
Okay. Recently, in Sapele, I had the opportunity to attend a funeral in an urban area. And to my surprise, that's a place I used to trek through as a kid. To my surprise, I found that a road is being constructed right in the middle of urban area in Sapele. For you, you will not understand, but for those of us who grew up in Sapele, we think it's almost impossible to construct a road in that place because this has become, how will I put it, the kind of area the houses were built and the roads have disappeared.
Yes.
You could go through with your leg, but for vehicles, it was almost impossible. But the development that for that road coming up, not only that, if you go in Amukbe, so from Amukbe you are going, as if you are going out of Sapele. Okay, the road is also being constructed. There's a road bypass to NDDC road, but I'm talking about the main road now. Okay. So there are lots of other development within Sapele. I can't call many of the roads now, but some of them are still within urban area. Or from Yoruba Road, there's a road behind Yoruba Road. I'm trying to remember the name. All of them are being constructed. Those are some of the work going on. But I will tell you, a lot of good roads and a lot of development has happened in Sapele. And these are just additional. And more is going to happen within Sapele. So the Sapele of before is not the same as Sapele of today. So there are some places that they were run down in those days and forgotten, but they are all coming back to life.
Wow.
And other places have opened.
And where are such places?
I live in Ugbeye, now in Sapele.
Okay.
When I was a kid,
where is the UK of Sapele?
It's like a UK of Sapele. it's a choice area.
Yes.
When I was a kid, that part of Ugbeye, I lived just after the St. Malachy school. When I was a kid, when you get to St. Malachy, the other places are just bushes until you get to St. Peter's. I mean, it's like a footpath you pass through. You see, the houses there, they are wonderful.
Top notch.
Yeah, top notch. Just even, I would say, this is not too long ago. Let's say in the 90s. The Share area in Sapele, Share Road, where you call Share in Sapele, it was a farm area. There was a tiny village. People have forgotten. There was a tiny village where they have Mechanic Village now. The village was moved out, I think, to build an estate, one of those low-cost estates in those days. But if you go to that area now, the whole Share Road, it's even bigger than Ugbeye. Wonderful buildings, roads everywhere. So those are the new areas of Sapele coming up. There are choice areas, and that will show you that there's been a lot of development in the city. And I don't know the exact numbers, but I can just predict that the population now, compared to the 80s, is times 5. It's times 5. The number of vehicles on the road. My parents are gone, but if they wake up now and see the number of vehicles in that main road, that Saple-Warri road, I'm sure they will be shocked. They will go back to sleep. Because it's not something they experienced.
Yes.
You know, so this government is doing quite a lot in Saple right now. Some of those places, the roads are being tarred. Those are places that really, really needs development. It's not just to have something to captivate for camera, but this is where that really needs development, especially that urban area. It's something that endeared all of us to this administration.
Okay, that's good. His Excellency, the Governor of Delta State, that has been his desire, that has been his dream, to make sure that meaningful development go across all the local governments in Delta State. At the end of his tenure, we know that, yes, a man actually came.
That is true.
To rearrange Delta State. So now, sir, you are the Commissioner for Higher Education. So what effort or what development has His Excellency put so far in the area of education in Delta State?
Thank you very much. But before I will go into that question directly, I want to say something about His Excellency's effort towards general development of Delta State. You know, you look at the more agenda, he really wants to do more for Delta. For me, I've tried to be a little laid back, you know, just live my life and go on. I just do well and just forget about everything, even some things are not going well around. And because I have a lot of experience in working in several places, I was extremely very happy when I was called to serve this government. You know. But what shocked me, I never believed I'm going to work for a man who has such high ethics and a man whose agenda, you know, who is really, how would I put it, who really have that love for his job and for his people. It's not really easy. Believe me, if you have worked in diverse places like me all over the world, it's not really easy to find such people. You know, before you would think that, let me just do my job and get away. But and I found that, man, there are people like this. There's somebody like this whose standard is so high and who really wants development. For me, it's a huge opportunity. Let me do my best. Let me work my heart out for this government. You know, so he really, really wants development. You can discuss development with him. He will not get tired about it. He wants, and it's not just development. Look, it's not just something for camera. It's not something that it's not really somebody that pushes for camera a lot for himself. You know. Doesn't want to just come and talk. He wants the job to speak for him. You know, what I learned, and let me use the word I tell people, is sustainable development. What he wants to achieve is what is called sustainable development. It's what, when he has left office, the work will still be speaking for him. Somebody will be speaking for him maybe 100 years from now. Sustainable development. Look, let's come to higher education. In higher education, we are lucky. This estate, we have 9 tertiary institutions, 4 universities. These are state universities, not state institutions. We still have federal and private, but let me focus on state institutions. 4 universities, 3 polytechnics. There were 2 before, but one was converted from School of Marine Technology to Delta State Maritime Polytechnic. So we have 3 polytechnics and 2 colleges of education. I will tell you, you see, there are 2 ways you need to look at the development we are going to put in, which he has started putting in these tertiary institutions. First of all, let's talk about infrastructural development. If you go to DELSU, to Unidel Agbo, to the Nsosadibe University, and to Delta State University of Science and Technology, which is now Southern Delta University. If you go there, you will see for yourself. DELSU is one of the most subscribed universities in Nigeria. Persons, The VC of DELSU will even tell you more than me. People come, they write to me, they pass through me, they ask me to beg VC. People are bringing their children from Uniben, from other universities. Let me not just call names. They wanted to come and study medicine in DELSU. The reason is that Delta State, because of the way the state has been arranged, we have one of the most stable calendar in the country. So the students learn well. Look, DELSU brought professors from all over the country, assembled them. So the students, there's no all this stupid strike and the rest. So when you get into DELSU in 4 years, you know you're getting out of DELSU. That's also happening now in these other 3 universities. So they have that very high standard. You see their students going to law school, they are one of the best. You see their students graduating everywhere they are doing so well. Stable academic society. That's what we've tried to establish in DELSU. That's Delta State University. So in terms of infrastructure, you go there, you see different buildings by the state government. They got some from outside, but the state government is the one funding most of the infrastructure in all these universities. If you go to Unidelagbo, it has one of the best engineering faculty in the whole of Africa. Don't believe me, go there, go and video it. Go to their engineering laboratory, one of the best. You know, go to Zoro, look at the roads they've done. The university itself, they constructed their own roads. Is that not enviable? Their own roads, you know. So
done by the school.
Yeah, done by the school itself. So Delta states were doing very well. You know, the number of students that usually get admission before we have for university, DELSU alone. When I studied in DELSU, number of admission was about 1,800. That is for the whole state for university. But now, for this year, the number of students admitted by the 4 universities is about approximately 20,000 students. For the 4 universities only, about 20,000 students. Man, let's give it to the God. And the polytechnics, you know, if you add the 2 polytechnics and the College of Education, so the total number of students admitted for this year is more than 25,000 into tertiary institutions in Delta State. It is huge. By next year, go and look at the number of graduates we are going to produce. But we're not going to produce graduates from these other 3 universities. Delta State is doing very, very well. But on the long run, then for now, it's just infrastructural. We are developing them. We're investing in them. Imagine in 20 years' time, when I gave a lecture recently, I said that we're going to be, you know, all over the world where you have higher institutions. You can have like Silicon Valley in the United States. You know, there are a lot of institutions around Silicon Valley. That's where entrepreneurs spring up. You know, we're going to have a technology hub. The Delta State is going to be like a technology hub. We're training the people now. We're coming up. We're not perfect, but we're producing all the graduates. Then a time will come where these persons with their high skills are going to start to invest into setting up businesses within Delta. Then let's go apart from infrastructure. You know, I had a summit for tertiary institutions last year, December. And the theme of that summit was alternative funding. Okay. Which I told them some of the things I've discussed with His Excellency. Delta State government cannot give you 100% funding all the time. You know, Delta State government will do very well. We pay your salary. We build for you. We support you during accreditation, during resource verification, pay you money for research. We want you, the institutions, because they have IGRO. We want you to spend some of those IGRO for development of your institution. They do that, but we want you to do more, you know, so that the state can use this money for more development. But what we are channeling to the institutions, we wanted to do more. That's what the summit for our summit last year. Going forward, we want now to look at the education itself that they are now offering the students. What are you teaching them? Are you still teaching them something from the 50s which you got from University of London? That's the same curriculum. Are we going to change the curriculum? Are we going to make it better? Yes. You know, there's what is called CCMAS, which is from NUC, by the curriculum for all universities in Nigeria. But inside that CCMAS, you can put in 30% of what you want. CCMAS brings 70%. So we're going to have meetings with these institutions. We want to teach our students about Delta, and teach them courses that are so innovative that when these kids graduate, they are very stable. They can set up their businesses, not necessarily all of them going to look for jobs. Or when they can get a job anywhere in the world. Like I tell my students, which I train, you can get a job anywhere in the world, but we still want them to be innovative, start companies within Delta State, or enter companies that they can expand the companies with their novel ideas. So we need to improve the curriculum of all these institutions going forward.
All right, thank you so much, sir. Just before we go, I want you to advise our youth out there. Advice is never too much.
Exactly.
Because one person that you will advise today will bring a whole lot of peace to the heart of that person and his family. A whole lot is happening in the country today, inflation of food, so many things. So we all need advice. Right. Someone out there needs your advice. So what do you have to say about our youth for today?
Okay, first of all, I want to tell the youth, like I tell them when I teach them, I say I envy you. Because what you have now, what you are exposed to, was a dream for me. You have so much available to you, the youth in this country. When I wanted, first of all, the first time I wanted to go abroad, I had to go into libraries in nearby universities to look at the name of the institutions abroad, to apply and write physical letters. But now they have internet, they have rich parents. I'm telling you, their parents are rich. No matter if their parents are even average, the youths are rich compared to before. So sometimes I would just make joke in my class. I would say, all these girls right here now. I say, I was in class with Miss Nigeria, and I used to do traditional dance together. The girl became Miss Nigeria. I say, even the hair she had then is not as good as any of the one you have now. So that tells you that the youth are really favored. Nigeria has done a lot for them. For them, I will give them one advice. Stop feeling that you deserve more. Start thinking that, what should I do? What should I do? Not complaining all the time. I tell you, I've said it before, I want to say it again. I want to advise the youth, go forward courageously and you will please God. I repeat again, go forward courageously and you will please God. You see, go out, think of good things to do in your life. Think of positive things. When you are together, come up with positive ideas. This world is ripe, it's open for innovation. Where we are going, believe me, it's going to be far better than what it is now. And it is the youth that are going to do it. They have the idea. They don't have to learn how to type like those of us who learn how to type. They know it automatically. They know so many things without learning it because they are part of it. Use that skill you have. Use the natural talent that you have. If you know how to do, if you have, some people have gifts of just learning to repair things. They just know it. Look, add a little bit of internet technology to it. Go online to look at how do I repair this. Then you become natural. Level will come and look for you to go and repair whatever they want to repair. They have skills. Think. Use your God-given talent. Try to think positively. I believe you, and believe me, you'll make it. Forget all this little fast money. You make it. You come and be grateful to your own Creator in the future. So I tell them, go forward. Try to do positive things and you will please God. And you doing it will benefit from it and be forever happy.
All right. Thank you so much, sir, for your time on this program. We really appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
All right. We've come to the end of the program. You heard what teacher said. Go forward courageously and you will please God. Think positively. Do not look down on yourself. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, HBS Show with Blessing. Like and share. I am Blessing Ofonu. Do it again next week. Don't miss it for any reason.
It's the HBS Show with Blessing, the screen goddess. History behind success of your role model.